Hello. Good morning on a happy sunny morning. I'm not feeling too bad actually. We are in a difficult time. I expect we're all feeling it in some way. We've got a Scorpio eclipse. I'm a Taurian, which is April, May, and the eclipse is in Scorpio. Full moon, lots of stuff going on, so I thought, well, just lie down and suffer, put the duvet over your head. No, actually, I'm doing this video. I was going to do one about Wessac, which I'll try and do tomorrow or the next day, but this one is about a little story that happened to me, and it's very, very profound, but it has to be told because I think there's a message in it for lots of us, all of us in fact. It's about a little mouse. In my kitchen the other day, I suddenly saw something rush past me, a mouse, to the cupboard opposite. And I thought, oh no, I'm fortunately not afraid of mice or spiders or anything. I'm not afraid. I like little things, so they can't hurt me. Very tiny mouse, actually. I think it was a field mouse. And he rushed past, and I thought, oh, now what? I hope there are not more of them. I didn't actually think I had a mouse because I had some biscuits in the front room after I had some supper, and I found some little nibbly marks out of them. I thought, oh dear, it looks like a mouse. So, and it's probably my fault because I've been leaving bits and pieces ready for the morning for the birds on the side, crusts and things, and of course the mouse it's my fault. I've attracted it. Anyway, he ran across the floor. I thought, well, we'll leave it for now. See if any more come. Because once they start, they breed. I mean, it gets a nightmare. You can't get rid of them. And I do live in a sort of country area, so you're bound to get things like that. So I thought, well, let him be. I'll do some prayers, see if God can get rid of it for me. and left it for a day or two. Then the gardener came. That's another story. Anyway, he's been, and all I've got now is a bare earth. I've got a garden with earth in it and a grass patch in the middle. He's just put everything up. Well, he did ask. He did say it's full of bluebells and forget-me-nots. Very pretty, but they have to come out because next week they'd all be gone anywhere. And he was there, pulled it all out. He filled two. Anyway, I'm sidetracking again. But anyway, he came. I thought, well, he might know what to do with this mouse. Men knows these things. So I said, just see the mouse. Well, I saw a mouse a couple of, is it what you think? He said, I'll bring a trap round. He lives down the road. This is a real gardener. I lives down the road, 2 or 3 doors away. And so he did. He came back and put this trap down. It's not what I wanted. I wanted to put some grains, mouse killer, but apparently they're not terribly successful. And I thought, well, he knows what he's doing. But I can't tell you what I went through. He put this trap down before he went in the afternoon. And I think it was late in the evening. I went into the kitchen and don't be upset. If anyone gets upset, don't look, don't hear, don't listen. It was this little tiny thing on its back, struggling, his little legs in the air. I'm going to see what something's happened to the computer. Oh, hi pollen count. On its back, blood everywhere, his little legs. I mean, I thought traps, they just went into a trap and got killed and that was it, but this was something else. I screamed. I didn't know what to do. I was sobbing, I was hysterical. So the last thing I wanted was to kill anything. I know I didn't do it deliberately, it was somebody else, but it was, you can't get away from these things, and it was partly my fault, And so I rang the man up. He'd given me his number. I rang him up, and I just was hysterical. He said, "I'll come straight down," which he did, and I just left him to it. I don't know what he did. It was still quivering, sort of thing, And I just couldn't watch. He tidied it all up and I think he put it somewhere in a bin or something, and wiped the blood up. And after he went, I was beside myself. I just didn't know what to do, what to think. I thought, it's the last thing I want to do. I kind of do believe in the Buddhists that everything's their mothers. Their reincarnation theories. I do like them. And in the film 7 Years in Tibet, all the monks come across these worms when they're making a building, and they have to somehow rescue them because they're all their mothers of a past life. So I've got a bit of Buddhism in me, I've got everything in me really. So there was part of me that was really preventing myself, because I believe you shouldn't. Well, you shouldn't kill things, and I wasn't deliberately. You can reason with yourself on these things. I didn't mean to do it, but it was anyway. So that was the story, and I went through absolute hell that night. I couldn't sleep, and the next day I was crying. And I know I'm a bit odd, but anyway, I asked my beloved Jeshua. I said, "Could you help me?" I said, "Just help me to cope with this. I mean, you can't make it different, obviously. Well, not obviously, but the thing's done, you know. Just help me to calm down a bit and to accept that I've done it. I'm guilty. Sin, you sin." I don't mean that. I don't mean that. But I just felt really bad about it. And anyway, I'm going to start being tearful now, because this is such a beautiful story. And I went for a lie down. I just have to go for a lie down now and then. And I saw him in my mind. He had this mouse in his hands. He cupped his hands. And he just massaged the mouse a little bit. And then opened his hands and it ran off. Isn't that beautiful? So beautiful. I mean, there's so many connotations, belief systems, teachings, whatever you like to think of that. He bought that mouse and gave it life, and the little thing ran off. Can you imagine? I haven't got over it. This is why I'm sharing it with you, because there's a message there for everybody, isn't there? You know? And it's just, I don't know, it's just so beautiful. I'm still thinking about it. I wouldn't say it's changed my life forever, but it has given me a lot of food for thought. I mean, no matter what you believe, you know, about afterlife and stuff like that, but when you see it actually happen in your mind, and it was for my sake, because he knew I was distressed, not for my sake as well, you know, but the whole thing has got like, it's a cosmological thing that's going on here, you know, and it's the time we're in now, a Scorpio eclipse. I'm trying to go in two different realms at the same time. It's the time of, you know, Scorpio, Pluto rules Scorpio. It's about death. A lot of death at the moment. Not. I don't mean death of people, although that as well, of course, but death of thoughts, belief systems, all sorts of deaths, little deaths, big deaths, you know. And memory, I'm coming across lots of memories about my dad and my mum, and I've had a lot of deaths. As you get older, you have a lot in your life, and there's so many unresolved, because I've been so alone with it all. You know, grief is a dreadful thing, especially when you're on your own. So I've uploaded a video, I'll put a link in later, uploaded a video about one I did 3 years ago. You'll see me looking very glamorous. It's not a good video, it's a very dark, I think it's the old camera, and because it's an old video as well, but I'm uploading it because it's a story about my dad, how I let my dad go, how my little ritual helped my dad to go, and also about a partner I had much later, and how he told me about the afterlife. So I suppose this video, it's not exactly a sad video, it's just one that's has to be told, you know. Death is not a thing to be afraid of, you know. Death is, oh, something's happened to this computer. I don't know. I feel very tired this morning. I'm going to come off it now, I think. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the energies. We all these CMEs and should we I'm sorry, it's a bit muddly, but it's my mood today, and I'm not in a very silly mood, as you can tell. But I will upload the link about my dad, and when I do a Wesak video, which is more of a fun one, because we're into Wesak as well, which is Buddha's birthday, and that's a full moon. I'll do that later on, another day. Okay, my darlings. God bless for now then.